There are 5 items that impacted my EDC for 2024. My goal here is to let you know what impacted me and how they impacted my everyday carry situation. Some of them made them better, but I also have 5 items that I regretted or that impacted my EDC negatively that I purchased, got, or became involved with in 2024. For coming to Saturday subjects, please, here's my list of, first off, 5 things that I really glad that I did. See you at the end of this. A few years ago, I would carry my EDC in a pouch like this Maxpedition. I used that for a long time. And I would actually put this inside a larger bag. Nowadays, I tend to use something like this. It's going to be smaller, and I carry pretty much everything that I need. Sometimes I want to go lighter and smaller, which is quite often I'm finding myself, so I end up carrying this Zerofued CUP Pouch. This pouch comes in 3 different sizes. It comes in that size there, it comes in this little scrunch size here, and it comes in this one right here. What I like about these, and I'll just open up, in fact, I'll open up this one. What I like about these particular pouches is that you can unzip them. They open up clamshell. Whereas a lot of people will get something like this that's a coin type purse, and then everything gets put in here, and so you're digging around to get something out in case you need it. I don't particularly like to dig stuff out, so using this, everything is right in front of you. Just to be aware, I'm actually giving this pouch away and everything that's in it. To learn more about how to get this or what's in it, you can click there. How to actually just get this pouch is just like, subscribe, and make a comment, and then you become able to be in the group that I will pick from. It will happen on December 28th, and then I will just mail this out to the person. There's no charges, but they have to be inside the US. The Zerofued pouch has really helped me think about what I can carry, the less that I can carry, and still how I can be impactful. This particular pouch has everything that my large one, I will just tell you, it has a multi-tool, it's got a pen, it's got a flashlight, it's got some tools in it, it's got paper, so I can pretty much do anything that I can do with a larger one. This is a Zerofued pouch, and it's made a great impact on my EDC for 2024 because I could carry this around and still feel comfortable that I have everything that I need to solve multiple problems. Over the years, I've had 4 watches. I've got a really cheap, inexpensive, like maybe $10 watch that is a manual or considered to be an automatic watch, I guess. I've also have a Casio watch that, is basically a Casio W watch, and that works really well, and I like that. When you think about EDC, what are the most important ingredients for a watch? That it tells time, it works for a long time without needing to juice it up, and that it has some other features that you might like, say GPS support, or maybe human body information. I had been using Fitbit for a few years now. This is it right here. This year, in 2024, I got what is probably the best EDC watch currently on the market. This is the Garmin Instinct 2X Solar Watch. It is a great watch, and I'm going to tell you why. It is a watch that does a lot of things really well. It does tell time. You can sync it with your phone if need be. But let's say you don't have your phone with you and you're out about. I took this to Fiji and New Zealand for 32 days and never charged it. This is a digital watch. It also, as you can tell, tells the steps, the weather, my pulse rate. It also will tell you, related to me training wise with calories burns. It comes with a Corning glass on top, but the most interesting thing, the whole top here is a solar battery. So literally it can last forever. I haven't charged this up in about a month now. And because I've been outside quite often, you can see at the top, it's at 69%. That is amazing for a watch. And it has built-in GPS. And so if I'm out walking, this is the watch to be able to use. You can do navigation by pushing the buttons. I'm not going to go through every single thing about it, but that's being able to wear this for a month without worrying about the charge is great. The other wonderful thing that it has that a lot of watches don't have is that if you press this down twice, there's a light there. That you can use this light, which is actually a brighter light than is on my Google Pixel 7 Pro phone. It's really great to be able to have that light there. You can change these faces out to pretty much anything that you want. The last thing that I'm going to say about this watch is that it does come in different colors. The back part is for blood oxygen, heart rates, and those kinds of things. The downside to this watch is that it only has gray color background, black and white. There is no color like red, green, blue. That's one thing that people will know. And it's a fairly expensive watch. It is in the Samsung, Apple, Google Pixel watch category pricing of $400. It is well worth it to have a watch that you can go for 30 plus days in and not worry about charging it, as long as you're outside in the sun for 3-4 hours a day. And it tells you how much energy it is absorbed for that day. This is the Garmin Instinct 2X Solar. They do have a couple models that are a little bit of a step down, the 2S Solar and the Garmin Instinct 2. Their batteries just don't last as long because the solar part is not as large. This has been a game changer for like me and my EDC. I wore 32 days straight on our trip to Fiji and New Zealand, and it worked fantastic. Over the last 3 to 4 years, I haven't done something that we all should be doing in EDC, and that is sharpen our knives. The reason why I haven't sharpened my knife was primarily because of a hand injury or hand issues. Now, I did have operation on my hand about 9 years ago now, but now I also have rheumatoid arthritis, and so it's hard for me to sharpen my knives on a stone. Just to be frank with you, I wasn't very good at it. And so I wanted to start sharpening my knives here in 2024. I looked around at various sharpening systems and I ended up getting this one. This is the Ken Onion, the Work Sharp Ken Onion Mark II knife sharpener. It has worked well. It is enabled me to like sharpen lots of knives. In fact, I think the second day that I got this, I ended up sharpening all of our kitchen knives and about a half dozen of my Swiss Army knives in just a few hours of time. That's how easy it was to do. And I really felt like, God, now it's time for me to keep things sharp. This sharpener and the belt technology with it just makes things a lot easier to do. The instructions here are so simple that all you need to do is look at this, and these are the instructions right there. The first time that I was sharpening them, I did use some of these, the P120. I did sharpen it down to the X4 grits, and I was able to get a sharpened knife. In fact, I probably should pull out one. Well, anyway, from trash. All the knives that I sharpen, that I just start at the X22 on all these, including my kitchen knives. And then I just do the X22 and then the X4, and then I strop them. And then they're just very sharp. They're sharpness the way that I like them to be. That's what you really want with knives. Other thing about this particular one is that because it has different speeds, you can do different things with it, including this comes apart, and so you can do like what is a shovel. I've done a lawnmower with it. Now, for like me is this is really sharp, and you just literally just this apart. You literally just angle it there, and then you angle it there as it's going a few times, and it will just sharpen it for you. Now, is that once you get to smaller size knives, and this is the smallest one that I would even ever try on this, although they're, you know, it gets a little hard to hold it in place because as you can tell, the knife and the sides just don't fit very well. So, being really careful, or I drop these, or I just use some other method, this particular device to actually keep something like this small knife. I really enjoyed having my PC because now I always know that I have a sharpened knife, and it also allows me to sharpen those kitchen knives that your spouse and you like to have be a bunch of guests, because then you have those knives that are very sharp. The last thing I'm going to say about this, I've done a shovel and lawnmower um, because so this is the Working Onion Mark II. You probably know what these things are. You've seen them, especially the Wearer Tool Check Plus has been on. There's thousands of reviews of this particular item, and then there's the Hasset 2300 SH. A few less reviews, but pretty comparable pieces. They're both very good German-made pieces that allow you to do quite a lot of work um, with the bits, the socket sets, and also just the other tools that they have on these particular items. I use one in one toolkit and the other in the other toolkit. I think it was either early on in 2024 or maybe late 2023. I want to say it was the internet. Todd, I can't remember your last name, I'm sorry, was talking about doing some things to make these lighter, exchangeable, those kinds of things. My issue wasn't so weight, it's just that I was missing a bunch of sockets because I live in an older house. My house was built in the 1940s, and so both some SE stuff was missing and also just some basic sockets. Anytime I wanted to do any work around the house, which I would primarily use this particular kit with the Hasset, I would usually take the Tool Check Plus with me to someone else's house or to loan it to them. I always had to have more sockets, so I would always carry a bag like this of sockets that were marked. I had one for this and one for that. Since these were both metrics, I needed those because they weren't always great fits for SAE stuff. I then started thinking about what are some alternatives to that. I know that people start looking at the Icon and also the Weha pieces. I love the Weha. I mean, I'm a big fan of Weha. I've got a bunch of Weha stuff, and they were looking at these Knepics. Knepics. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, let me know in the comments. Those things with some sockets has a replacement for these things, because then you get a lot more leverage, a lot more things to like do. I was thinking that's great, but I had to put them all in a bag. And I was looking at Etsy, and there was a guy that came up with a little box that looks like this here. I'm going to show you what's inside this box, but it made me rethink a whole bunch of stuff. In fact, so much so that these two pieces are going to be sold next year, early in 2025. Probably on eBay, probably maybe just with friends here. I'm not sure, because I think this solution is going to be better than that solution for me, because I can use SAE and metric, whichever I need to have. So let me tell you what's in this particular box, and then we'll go through it. Before I open up this box, I want to say this is not so much an impact on my everyday carry as much as an impact on those times when my everyday carry isn't either available or useful to me, and that I need much more work. So this particular piece, once again, it was created by a person on Etsy. I really like it because I can open it up, and inside of it, I have places for approximately 10 sockets here. I've got places for all the kind of torts and bits that I may need here. You know, you have the Icon flex wrench here with the extension. Then you can get two Knepecs, two of the Knepecs pliers in here, and it's in a nice little case. Everything is in here. There's actually room for a few more things, but everything is in here, and I can put this inside of my toolkit pouch, and it just makes things work really well. I really have enjoyed it. It is one of those things where it has just made me want to just re-look at my whole toolkit in general. And I do have a 3D printer, but I usually don't print stuff like this with it. But this has got me much more enthused about 3D printing. This easily replaces all of these things here with more. I can do anything here that I can do with here. This is going to be a little wider, but basically the same size and weight as both of those particular items are. The cost is going to be a little bit more just because of the price of the pliers. The thing about this that I have talked to the creator of this about, which they're not prepared to do, I am not a big fan of the 4-inch Knipeck pliers sets. I love the 5-inch ones. I think that there's that little more reach and that little bit more torque that I can get on things is very helpful. If that ever happened, I would definitely jump on the 5 or even the 6-inch ones. But for now, this is good enough. I can just put this inside my pocket if that's all that I want it to do, or I can put this inside of my tool pouch. This is the Icon Harbor Freight, I call it 3D printed box. You will get a link to it with everything else. There's been a lot of Leatherman Surge clones, Leatherman Wave clones this past year to year and a half. There's even been a few people that have come out with clones of the Victorinox. There's been a lack of innovation inside of the multi-tool world. I haven't seen it from Leatherman. I haven't seen it from Victorinox really, nor have from SOG, Gerber, Next Tool, Swiss Tool. The only one that I've seen innovation from that is impactful is Roxon. Roxon earlier in this year came out with the Roxon Flex. This Flex is a pliers-driven multi-tool, which is not unusual. There's a bunch of those out there. There are many that are clones. The interesting thing about this tool is that you can do it one-handed. The most important innovative thing is that once you open it up, you can actually take out and replace the individual tools. It is pretty easy to do. It's pretty satisfying. You can get different knives. You can get scissors. You can get forks to be able to tighten up and loosen your knives. On this one, I got set out for a number of different things here, just to let you know. None of these on this side are blades. I did travel with this, not necessarily in this configuration, but something similar. And on the other side, let me unlock it here. I used a saw and a 1/4-inch bit holder. All of these are locking. The 1/4-inch bit holder does handle normal 1/4-inch bits, like this one right here. And it'll also handle, I think, Steinwell bits. Let me see if I can find a Steinwell bit here. It does not handle Weha bits. It does do well with some of the Leatherman bits. It does very well with the Leatherman extenders. Let you know that. That makes it really good way of just carrying a full multi-tool with you, because you can change out whatever your needs are. You can have different blades, as I stated. You can have different implements. There are plenty of reviews of this online, so I'm not going to go through. This is the Roxon Flex. Later on in this year, it came out with the companion, which is basically this Flex, but in just a single bladed form without pliers. So you have everything that you can have there. Everything here is interchangeable. The blades are D2 blades on this particular one, which I really like. It makes it in a good competitive environment for a lot of other multi-tools that don't have pliers. So this one here is set up, I set this one up to be a little bit competitive to the Farmer. What you have here is a blade, opener, all saw, scissors. On the other side, you have your 1/4 inch. These are locking, which is something that you don't get with sacks. They're interchangeable so that you can add more whatever that you need to have here. It also comes with a clip. You put all these things together for basically something that is in the same price range as Farmer, you should definitely consider. And once again, you can take the blade out and go bladeless. It would be TSA compliant. In between these two, they came out what I consider to be the best clone competition for Swiss Army knives, particularly the Huntsman Fieldmaster. And this one is set up like this right here, somewhat the Farmer X. Nothing comes out. There's a D2 blade here. It's got a liner lock on it, and it's got good scissors. The scissors that are by far the closest in quality to the sack scissors that are out there, in my opinion. And it's got a little homage to the Swiss Army knives by having a tweezer. And the tweezer is just as effective as you would get on most Swiss Army knife tweezers. This comes with a file, a little Phillips, all combo is right there, and a saw. You're in the ballpark of the Huntsman, the Fieldmaster, Farmer X. The one thing that this has that those do not have is on the locking Phillips, you can attach this. What you have is 4mm abilities. You can get these 4mm bits, and if you're working on something that needs a 4mm or can use a 4mm, you have it and you're ready to go. So while these two come with the ability for 1/4 inch bits, this one comes with the ability to use 4mm bits. I wish that this was a little more holdy with magnetic pieces, but it's not. The Roxon Flex, the Roxon Companion, and the KS2E Elite are all very well reviewed. Roxon for 2024 has been innovative, and I hope to see more innovation from Leatherman, Swiss Army Knife, Gerber next year. I'm going to be doing a review on the Flex Companion in about a month. I'm just going to keep using them when I see a place and need to use them. That's the Roxon company's innovation. Well, that's my list. I can't say anything more about it. If you are still interested in being part of the group of people that I'm going to be giving away the pouch, then please subscribe or make a comment. You'll be on the list. I'm going to do it on December 28th. If you have any other comments for improvement or things that you like me to cover in 2025, please write them down in the comments. I'll make every effort to do that. This is Haku, EDC. See you in the future.